Hello, work-life warriors. Welcome. So today is story time. I want to tell you a short story. So I was born in Baltimore, Maryland, where you do not see people exercising. You do not see people jogging around. You do not see gyms. Back when I was growing up in the 80s and 90s, these things were not a thing. I did not know anything about exercise until I moved to North Carolina. When I moved to North Carolina, I was 18 and I was 175 pounds and I'm 5'10". So basically I was fit-ish. I won't say that I was fit because I never exercised before, but I had a high metabolism as a teenager. And so I was fit. So I moved to North Carolina. There's a change of pace, change of lifestyle. In Baltimore, it's more active. You have things to go. You can go hang out. You can jump rope. You can walk to the next neighborhood. You can walk to the store. You can walk to visit your friends. It's just more active. In North Carolina, you have to have a car. Everything is kind of spaced out. So due to inactivity, I gained over 80 pounds. 80 pounds. Over 80 pounds. And that was within the first year, my freshman year of college. 80 pounds, over 80 pounds. Okay, so that was in 2005. I gained 80 pounds. So from there, like I did not necessarily know that I gained 80 pounds because I'm not a shopper. And I also like to wear a lot of dresses, and my dresses are kind of flowy. They're not really form-fitting. So there wasn't much difference between what I was wearing when I was thinner to now. All of the clothes still fit. So I wasn't even aware. I'm not a shopper. I don't like to try on clothes. So I just wasn't aware. The people around me also, you know, birds of a feather flock together. So I flocked to friends who also had that same issue. You know, family and friends, they didn't partake. Well, family in particular did not partake in exercise. And my friends were still in Baltimore. So at that point, when I went to college, I had just gained weight. It wasn't until a family friend said, "Whew, when you walk through the door, you look like a fat little boy." So I was taken aback. You know, it hurt my feelings for a second, but it was the reality of it, and it helped me to see myself a little differently. So I started to make different choices. So about time I graduated from undergrad, that was in 2009. I was about, I think I was at 240, somewhere between 230 and 240. And that was in undergrad. So I started to work in corporate America, of course, and due to all of the stress, I began to gain more weight. So at that time, I was in grad school and I was working full time. So I was not taking care of my health and wellness, at all. And I had gotten up to 258, almost 260. Now, again, I'm 5'10", so it doesn't look like a lot, but even going over 200 was a lot for me. I hadn't been 200 before. So getting up to almost 260 pounds, wow. I graduated from graduate school. That was in 2013. And right after graduate school, me and a group of my friends went to, I think it's Six Flags in Charlotte, Kings Dominion, Carowinds. Me and my group of college friends went to Carowinds. Okay, so it was four of us, four me and three of my friends, and then one of my friend's spouse. So we were in the park having a good time. I seen one of the Charlie Brown characters, so I took a picture with the Charlie Brown character. And then one of my friends said, "Hey, you get on this roller coaster with me." Now, everybody knows I don't like heights. I do not deal with heights. I do not ride roller coasters. I do not like it. I will, but I don't like it. So I was like, "Nah, I'm not going to ride with you." And she was like, "Well, if you ride with me, I'll buy your lunch and we'll split a funnel cake." See, that was my problem right there, because y'all know I went to go ride. So anyway, we could get in the line, and as it's getting closer, I am getting nervous because I know, like, this is not my lane. I like to stay in my lane, but like what was my lane was the food lane. And it was like a promise of food after this lane. So it was like, I got to ride this lane to get like free food, even though I had the money to pay for my own food. Anyway, so we get up there, and it is the kind that you sit in and the bar comes over you. So it's 3 seats, and you know, me is a seat here and then 2 more seats. So all of them are rows of 3. On the other side are the people waiting to get on, and then the other side is the people getting off. So as the people were getting off, I go to get on. So I get on, and my 2 friends went first. So I'm sitting in the seat closest to the line of people waiting to get on. So I go to sit down, and as I'm sitting down, I'm like, whoo, this seat it's a little tight. Like, I don't even really feel comfortable. This feel real tight. I don't feel secure. So then I go to pull down the bar. Now, where I gain the most weight is my breast and my thighs. So I go to pull down the lock, the shoulder lock, and it just wouldn't go down. And I'm like trying to push it down, and it just wouldn't go down. So I'm just sitting around like, oh, what is happening right now? Like, I'm uncomfortable with my hips, and I can't pull this seat down. So I look over, and I see the people start to like whisper as I'm trying to like get the restraint over my body. And they're starting to whisper. So then, you know, somebody comes and check to make sure everybody is in correctly. And a person comes over and try to check me. So at this point, I'm like, ooh, it's too tight. It's not go down. He's like, okay, I'm going to help you. So he's like, suck it in. He's like, take a deep breath and suck it in. So, I mean, I'm embarrassed at this point. So I try to suck it in, and it just was not happening. And he's just like, no, really, like, take a deep breath. I didn't want to do that because people were watching. So I'm thinking, like, Ebony, this is not going to be safe. Just get off this coaster. You know, like, you could buy your own food. It is what it is. Like, just get off the coaster. So when I go to get off, like, I was just like, never mind. And I go get off. It's like everyone in the line is laughing and snickering and like, so I'm like, I'm had to stand here and wait for my friends to come back. I'm just going, all right, I'm going to take one deep breath. So I take a real deep inhale, like, and he snaps it in, and we good. So again, I don't feel secure because it snapped in. I feel a little safe up here, but like my hips are not really in the seat. So I begin to pray. I'm like, please, if I get out of this situation alive, if I make it out of this situation alive, I am going to go to the gym. I am going to go to the gym. I promise I am going to the gym come tomorrow. How did I become this girl? How did it happen? When did it happen? How did I not know it happened? So the ride starts. And I'm already nervous because I don't like roller coasters. I do not like heights. And so it starts, and I'm just praying, and my eyes is closed, and I don't feel comfortable, and it's turning, and my hips are just like not in the seat, and I'm holding on for dear life, and I'm like, I promise you, I promise, I'm going to the gym, just don't let me die. It starts flipping and stuff, and I don't feel safe. I'm crying like, please, just let me get off this coaster. I'm going to honor it. So I swear, this was like the longest 2-minute coaster of my life. I've never prayed so hard consistently in my life. So when I pulled up, thankfully, those people are no longer there. You know how they have 2 or 3 coasters. So when you go, by the time you come back, the people who are right behind you, they're not there anymore. So I hurry up and get off of the coaster, and I go outside, and I was just trying to get my thoughts together. And my friends were, you know, like the whole time, mind you, my friends did not want to look at me. The 2 that were on the other side, when I was struggling to get in the seat, they never looked at me. They never said anything. And it was friends up front, because it was a total of 5 of us. So it was 2 of them up front. And nobody ever said anything to me during this whole incident. So we get off the ride and they're like, okay, so you ready to go? Everybody ready to go eat? Now, I had to be true. I was like, no food for me. I can fast for 10 days and not die. I'm good. I'm not eating no food for me, no junk food, no fun. Okay, that's the reason why I am in this predicament. I don't want it. How did I become the ass of a joke? I don't want it, you know? So I did not do it. And I went home, and literally the next day I went to Planet Fitness and signed up for a gym membership. And for a year straight, I went to the gym 5 days a week, at least 2 hours a day. I dedicated myself because I knew that I was on a slippery path, and had I not did anything in this moment to stop it, it would only get worse, because I was unaware that I had even gained that weight. I was unaware that I was even at that point. Unaware. So I had to do right by myself. And so I started dieting, not really dieting. I changed my diet. And I exercised. And I did that for a year. And I went from being 258 back down to being 180. So I lost them 80 pounds. And although I have been fluctuating since, because you get to a place and then you start to relax and slip into old ways of like old habits, like your diet and not exercising, because you're like, I'm slim, I'm fine. I don't need to go to the gym. You know, look at it. I can eat what I want. Look, I'm thin. Thin people eat what they want. So you stop, and then you gain the weight back again. And depending on the stress that you have in your life or what you got going on in your life, you may not necessarily have the time to like cook a healthy meal or diet. And even right now, I am up. Not nowhere near, 258, but not what I would like to be. And again, I have a lot going on right now, and I want to hit these deadlines and get things in order. And so I would kind of neglect myself. But I've been challenging myself the last 30 days that just like I teach everyone else, I have to put self-love and self-care first. So I've been waking up since the beginning of the year, going to the gym in the morning, setting my soul on fire, trying to get my sexy back, because I'm trying to be summertime fine. So again, it is so imperative for your health that you stay on it. Don't let it get to 80 something pounds, because losing 80 pounds was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Now, I've done some really challenging things, but that was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. It took discipline and willpower, and it was a long-term goal without any instant gratification. So it was one of the hardest things I've ever done, but it helped me to develop my self-love, my self-esteem, my self-worth. I feel like after losing 80 pounds, there isn't anything that I can do. Anything. So I hope you like my story, and I hope it inspires people to get up, get out, get some movement in, exercise, take care of yourself, love yourself. Only you can do that. And it is your responsibility to make it a priority. So thanks for sticking around. I hope this helps. Please like, share, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell. Have a great day, Work Life Warriors.